My very first official, national recording artist through an actual label was Capitol. It was Chingy, and that was the first actual placement that I got. That was an official, through Capitol at the time, and that was my first platinum plaque out the gate. I was just blessed.
Hold on, stop for a second. Stop for a second.
Yeah.
Stop for a second. You can't just say my first platinum plaque and just keep talking, right? Like you can't. Hold on, bro. Like you gotta unpack that. So what you're saying is your first platinum plaque.
Mm.
That's 1 million records,
Right.
So walk us through that. Walk us through what it was like when you know it was gonna go platinum. Where were you at? Did you lose your mind? Did you run around? What did you do? Did you spend your money on the whip? Like what you do? Like where were you at when? Walk us through that, bro. You got to unpack that, bro.
Everything was so surreal because like when it happened, everything started unpacking at the same exact time. So when Chingy dropped, he was under DTP. Then right after that, Ludacris had the compilation album, Disturbing the Peace with everybody from DTP, and that's when I had Georgia. We'll get to that later. But in general, I was signed to Bangladesh with Sean Dre Crawford out of Atlanta, which was Ludacris' first producer that produced What's Your Fantasy and the whole, Ludacris' first album. But at the time, I was pretty much signed as a producer under him. And shout out to my big cuz Meal Ticket. He was like, at my manager at the time, he was like, cuz we can do this, but I prefer you to be your own label, be your own independent company, and we can work with this cat, but I really want you to do your own thing. So we pretty much got out my contract with Sean Dre. And Sean Dre, I give him so much love and respect because Sean Dre continued to go on and do crazy things. He did I'm a Diva with Beyonce. He did a Millie with Lil Wayne. He did a lot of these. He did Lemonade for Gucci. And he gave me my first shot. But at the time, not giving too much of the contract, I was in a situation to where I can provide him so many beats per year, and I was considered an employee. I wanted to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to learn my information for myself and learn how to do the game. And so because Meal Ticket said, look, man, we got to find a way to get you out here because I can put you in certain positions, but if you sign to somebody, I can only do so much. So getting back to Chingy was with DTP at the time, and Ludacris had tracks that he already wanted for his album. But at the time, Chingy was first to release off of Capitol through Capitol/Def Jam South. And when it came out, it was so surreal because I'm like, man, I was honored to do a record with like major label people, but I didn't think my first joint ever placed was going to go platinum,
right,
or gold, or even no type of placement. So on Billboard, I believe that Chingy album on Billboard went top 20. And that's I had did previous things, in the music industry, but it wasn't on that major scale. Big shout out to my one of my artists named Arrogant. We had a joint called Swing on His Ass, and that video was shot in ATL. That was an independent joint that was heavy in the street, but it wasn't a major label.
Right.
It might have been even harder than some of the records that was on major labels at the time. But a lot of these labels, they'll put you on the shelf and put you on the back burner because they don't want you to compete with their artists. And I understand that. But at the time, I was working with him. And also before Chingy even came on, I had an artist named Fever that had a song called Motorcycle. We was signed. He was actually signed to Blackground at the time. You know what I'm saying? And so that record was released through a major label, but it never got legs. So when I say my first official placement with Capitol, that was Chingy, and that's the first thing that went platinum. So like out the gate, I was blessed to get the first release as the platinum release. So my record was like 1-0 at the time.